We're entering the season of ghosts, ghouls, and things that go bump in the night. But you know what by far the spookiest thing about October is? Well, it's obviously the sheer number of incredible games that are on the way.
It's always big news when a game goes free to play, but when it's the latest entry in one of the biggest series on the planet, well, that's very big news indeed. As of October 18th, the Sims 4 base game will be totally free for both Xbox console and PC gamers, meaning even you Xbox Game Pass Ultimate List souls will be able to get in on this sweet life simulating action. Fair is fair though, so anybody who, like me, who has already bought the game will have until the 17th to snag a free copy of the Desert Lux kit for free. Now, let's move on to the month's new releases, starting with another massive title you'll be able to play for free.
Kicking off the month with a personal favourite of mine is Overwatch 2, which will be making its grand entrance on the 4th. It's honestly hard to know what part of this one is to be most excited about. It could be the fact that it's going free to play, which is massive, or the manifold tactical ramifications that they've taken it from a 6v6 to a 5v5. Or it could be about the new heroes, Sojourn, Kiriko, and even Junker Queen, and they'll all be hopping straight into the fray on launch. If you're an Xbox Series X or S gamer, then maybe you're looking forward to experiencing that variable refresh rate goodness for some especially slick shooting. But maybe the biggest reason to be excited is that it's Overwatch, but more of it.
And if colourful, cartoonish combat is your thing, then you're in luck. Travis Touchdown will be powering up his beam katana once again as No More Heroes 3 arrives on the 11th. This time around, players will have 5 full islands to explore as they take on a variety of formidable alien foes and work their way up the galactic superhero rankings, while also picking up the odd part-time job to pay for gas and stuff. With its absurd sense of humour, ludicrously over-the-top action set pieces, and utterly unique sense of style, No More Heroes 3 promises to be a fitting, outrageous finale for the series. But let's be honest, I had you at beam katana, didn't I?
If you'd prefer to do something constructive this October, then LEGO Bricktales arrives on the 12th. On a quest to reinvigorate the family theme park, you'll use the game's innovative building mechanic to solve puzzles brick by brick, coming up with all kinds of creative solutions. So whether you're putting together a market stand or a fully functional gyrocopter, how you go about each challenge is entirely up to you. In the process, you'll get to visit a wide variety of different biomes, from medieval castles to tropical islands, all of which are naturally made entirely out of LEGO. On the 14th, we'll be hitting the links once again in PGA Tour 2K23, with a roster filled with male and female pros, as well as the option to take your very own created player on tour in My Career mode. This particular golf club really is open to everyone, and that's backed up by the inclusion of 3 different control schemes, as well as some neat accessibility options like real-time tutorials and shot suggestions. PGA Tour 2K23 will be rolling gently onto the fairway of our lives on October 14th, although players who pick up the Tiger Woods or Deluxe editions will get it a few days earlier on the 11th.
Someone must have summoned a dragon and wished for more Dragon Ball content, because hot off the announcement that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot would be coming to next-gen consoles, we've got a whole new game in the form of The Breakers. Arriving on the 14th, this asymmetrical multiplayer game sees players once again taking on classic big bads like Freesia and Cell. Only this time you aren't playing as an unconscionably jacked alien warrior who can shoot lasers from their fingertips, you're just a bunch of regular humans. Playing in teams of 7, it's up to you whether you want to work together to make sure no one gets left behind, or hightail it to save your own ass.
Also, on the 14th of October, the delightfully disgusting Scorn will also be slithering onto Xbox and PC Game Pass day one of its release. This biopunk survival horror takes place in a world where everything seems to be made from living flesh. The floors, the walls, the weapons, everything. It is profoundly disturbing, perhaps making the first time you wouldn't be grateful for 4K on the Xbox Series X, where you'll really be able to see every little wriggling detail. The sounds are especially too disgusting, so headsets on for this one. But if you're not feeling too squeamish, this looks set to be one of 2022's most unique games, and exactly the sort of thing we should all be playing around Halloween. I think enthusiasm for this next one is going to be all kinds of infectious. A Plague Tale Requiem arrives on October 18th. After spending the entire first game running and hiding, you'll be pleased to know that our heroes are looking a lot hardier this time around, with Amicia's increased combat prowess and Hugo's whole emo Pied Piper thing. But their newfound power comes at a cost to their humanity, and it looks like Requiem is going to be every bit as grim as its wonderfully brutal precursor. Things will at least look a little bit brighter though, thanks to the vibrant southern landscapes you'll be exploring, all of which pop like nobody's business with the Xbox Series X and S's HDR10. And the best of all, it's coming straight to Xbox Game Pass as a day one release. Oh, that's lovely.
If you ain't afraid of no ghosts, then you'll have nothing to fear come October 18th, when Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed comes calling. This asymmetrical actioner lets you play as either your own custom-made Ghostbuster or one of the mischievous ghouls they've been tasked with busting. It can be played in multiplayer online or locally, and you can even take down an AI-controlled ghost together if you're feeling especially wholesome. Perfect for players of all skill levels and featuring a whole host of awesome cosmetics to unlock for ghosts and Ghostbusters alike. Spirits Unleashed really looks like the sort of paranormal activity we can get down with.
Not many party games can boast for a 1 to 100 players sticker, but the Jackbox Party Pack series sure can, and it's bringing another box full of supersized fun on October 20th, with the 9th game in the series. 9! How do they do it? Anyway, using their phones and tablets to connect, players will be able to take part in 5 different hilarious minigames, from honing the art of the fib in Fibbage 4, to crafting ridiculous backstories for strange objects in Junktopia. It's the perfect game to break out the next time you have friends around, and the series is already something of a Twitch sensation, thanks to how reliably it brings the laughs. So check out the Jackbox Party Pack 9 if you're looking for a giggle. The Borderlands are always full of surprises, and not always the good kind, but it was pretty sweet to find out there was a new Tales from the Borderlands game coming at this year's Gamescom, and that we'd have to barely wait for it at all. The latest entry in the narrative adventure spin-off series will have the player guiding 3 lovable losers through the worst days of their life. Where the story goes will depend on your choices, and I think it's safe to assume it will involve a whole lot of gunpowder. Xbox Series X gamers will be in for a particular treat in the fact that it comes in 4K Ultra HD and makes that Borderlands trademark cel-shaded style look even more gorgeous, you know, in a twisted dystopian sort of way.
On the very same day, the legendary Persona 5 will be making its Xbox debut and coming straight to Xbox Game Pass. This acclaimed JRPG puts you in the shoes of a high school student who spends their day dozing through classes, hanging with their friends, watching movies, and doing other general teenager stuff. And then, at night, they venture through the realm of the human unconscious, engaging in epic battles for the souls of their classmates. Containing all of the game's DLC and featuring some shiny next-gen optimizations that will have it running at a smooth 60 FPS, Xbox Game Pass members will be getting the very best version of a game that is already regarded as one of the best JRPGs of all time. But wait, there's more. On that very same day, the Gotham Knights will be smashing through the nearest skylight and landing in those cool superhero poses. The game picks up shortly after Batman has kicked the Bat Bucket, leaving Gotham pretty much free for the taking. To try and prevent it from falling completely into criminal hands, players will have the chance to carry on the Dark Knight's legacy by playing as his 4 proteges: Robin, Red Hood, Nightwing, and Batgirl.
It might look like the ideal destination for a quiet getaway, but the Italian village of Gravois has more than its share of dark secrets, and in Saturnalia it's up to you to bring them into the light. You'll be playing as 4 different characters: an unflappable geologist, a photojournalist, a computer programmer with a scandalous past, and a teenage punk. They've each got demons of their own, all of which will be dragged along the way as they try to find out the truth about the strange, sinister place that connects them. Sounds kind of moody. But if you are in the mood for a survival horror adventure with a Mediterranean flavour, you should definitely check out Saturnalia when it lands on the 27th.
In fact, the 27th has got more horrors than the Hammer House, with Signalis also arriving straight onto Xbox Game Pass. This old-school survival horror game takes place in a dystopian future where humanity has colonized the entire galaxy without making any of it a whole lot better. We tend to do that, don't we? Playing as an android named Elster, you'll embark on a journey that ultimately reveals some even darker truths about humans of the future. Using complex shadow and transparency effects alongside anime-style cinematic sequences, Signalis conjures a brutalist nightmare of a horror game, exactly the sort of thing you want haunting your dreams at this time of year.
Also landing straight into Xbox Game Pass on the 27th, we've got the incredibly popular co-op shooter Gunfire Reborn. Playing in single player or in teams up to 4, this roguelike style game randomizes the levels and the loot during each game to keep players on their toes. The more heroes you'll unlock to play as, and seeing as the roster contains stuff like a dual-wielding dreadlock-wearing dog and an exceptionally angry-looking bird, I'd say there's plenty of incentive here. Oh, and the game itself is also quite fun. You definitely need to play it.
And then rounding out the month on the 28th, we've got an obscure little indie game called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Don't know if anyone will really be interested in it, but thought I'd mention it anyway. The open beta has already given us a taste of what Modern Warfare 2 will have on offer. From the massive 64-person rumbles of ground war to the tight tactical knockout and prisoner rescue modes. Safe to say it's every bit as action-packed as we've come to expect from the Call of Duty franchise. It also might be the most tense and tactile game in the series yet, especially if you're playing on Xbox Series X or S, where the spatial sound technology helps to ensure that every whizzing bullet and frantic footstep is rendered with pinpoint accuracy. It's so immersive that the noise from a grenade is liable to scare the living daylights out of you, so ideal for spooky season.
Once again though, we've met a month with more new releases than we could cram into a video shorter than a Phase 4 Marvel movie, so let's rattle off a few more really quickly. The Eternal Cylinder is on the 13th. It's an open world adventure where you get to lead a herd of adorable aliens across a strange new planet. And there's more herding action to be had within Them's Fighting Herds, a 2D fighting game that's a bit like Zootopia, but without the heartfelt lessons about prejudice and far more punching. Then you've got Batora Lost Haven on the 20th. This is an action RPG that takes you all over the galaxy as a woman battles to save her people. What better way to wait for Darktide than with the hand-drawn hyper-violence of Warhammer 40,000, Shootas, Blood and Teef. And no, I'm not done yet. The Star Ocean series is still going strong a few decades after the original, with the Divine Force set to arrive at the end of the month on the 27th. God, that's a lot, isn't it?
As excited as we are about all these brand new releases, we've also got to shout out a couple of long-running franchises that are hitting major milestones this month. The Forza Horizon series will have been tearing down the open road for a full decade, and yet doesn't look anywhere close to running out of gas. To celebrate this momentous mileage, Forza Horizon 5 will be kicking off an anniversary-themed new season on October 11th, complete with a whole bunch of classic content returning from previous games. Then there's Age of Empires, a series which prides itself on knowing its history, and whose own auspicious era now spans an amazing 25 years. Come the 25th of October, they'll mark the occasion with an anniversary update that adds 2 new civilizations, the Malians and the Ottomans, with new maps and masteries also rolling out. It's safe to say that Age of Empires' reign is far from over. If all goes to plan, you'll get to spend a lot of October in a state of absolute terror, but at least you should have some pretty amazing new games to play as well. Let us know which ones you're dying to get your hands on down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to keep your feed full of dark premonitions about games yet to come. Bye!